If you're looking for the best Replit alternative in 2026, the real question is not just, can this tool generate an app? A lot of tools can do that now. The better question is, can your team actually run the app after it is built? That is where most AI app builders start to fall apart. They are great for prototypes. They are great for quick experiments. You type a prompt, the AI writes code, and a few minutes later you have something on screen. But once real users, real data, permissions, approvals, client access, and daily operations get involved, the work changes. You are no longer just trying to generate code. You are trying to build business software that people can trust and maintain. That is exactly where Softr is interesting. Softr is not trying to be another developer IDE. It is an AI app builder for business apps, portals, internal tools, CRMs, dashboards, project trackers, and operational systems. The difference is that Softr gives you the full foundation around the app: a database, visual pages, forms, user roles, permissions, workflows, and AI features that are built into the product. So in this video, I'm going to show you why Softr is one of the best Replit alternatives for teams that want to build real business software with AI without turning every small change into a coding task. We are going to build a client portal, look at how the app is structured, and walk through the parts that matter most when you are building for real users. The key thing to understand is that Softr is built around business ownership, not code ownership. In Replit, the app is usually represented as code. AI can help generate that code, but someone still has to understand it, debug it, deploy it, and maintain it. That works well when the person building the app is a developer, or when a technical team is ready to own the project long term. But a lot of business teams are not trying to manage a code base. They are trying to solve a workflow. They need a place where clients can log in. They need a CRM that updates automatically. They need an approval system for requests. They need a dashboard for internal reporting. They need different users to see different data. And they need the whole thing to be easy enough that the operations team can update it later. That is the gap Softr is built for. Instead of generating raw code and leaving you with a technical project to manage, Softr helps you generate a full business app and then edit it visually. You can use AI to create the first version, then switch into the builder and change layouts, pages, forms, fields, permissions, and workflows without touching code. This is a much better fit for non-technical teams because the app stays understandable. You are not guessing where the logic lives. You can open the database, user groups, pages, and workflows, then change them as the business changes. That matters because the first version of an app is never the final version. In a code-first tool, those updates can turn into a development cycle. In Softr, they are part of the normal builder workflow. Let me show you what this looks like with a practical example. I am going to build a client portal. This is one of the clearest use cases because it has the problems that make simple prototypes break. Users need to log in, each client should only see their own data, and a team needs a clean way to manage requests. Inside Softr, I can start with the AI app builder and describe what I want. I want a client portal where clients can log in, view their active projects, submit new requests, upload files, and see the status of everything in one place. On the internal side, my team needs a dashboard where they can review requests, update project stages, and trigger the next step in the workflow. The important part is that Softr is asking business questions. What kind of app are we building? Who are the users? What pages do we need? What data should be tracked? What roles should exist? What should clients be able to see and edit? That is different from only asking AI to write code. Softr is helping define the structure of the application. Once the app is generated, I am not staring at a code base. I am looking at a visual app that I can inspect and edit. There is a database behind it. There are pages on the front end. There are forms for collecting data. There are user groups and permissions. The pieces are connected, but they are still visible. Now I can open the client dashboard page and adjust the layout. I can change the project list, add a status field, or add a button for submitting a new request. If I need a new field in the request form, I can add it directly in the builder and connect it to the database. This is why Softr works as a Replit alternative for business teams. You get AI speed, but the app is not locked inside generated code. The part that makes business apps hard is not the landing page. It is the logic behind who can see what. For a real client portal, every client needs a secure experience. Client A should not see Client B's projects. A viewer should not have the same access as an admin. Internal users may need to edit records, while external clients may only need to submit requests and view updates. In Softr, this is handled visually through users, groups, and permissions. You can create different user groups, decide which pages they can access, and control what data they can view or edit. You can also apply restrictions so users only see records connected to them. That is what turns a simple app into something usable for real operations. The same idea applies to internal tools. A CRM, inventory tracker, or project management system will usually need different access levels for different teams. You can build those differences into Softr without writing custom access logic from scratch. And because Softr includes its own native database, plus integrations with external data sources, you can choose how you want to structure the system. You can build with Softr's database or connect existing tools like Airtable, Google Sheets, HubSpot, SQL databases, and other sources when that is the better fit. This is where the alternative angle becomes clear. Replit is powerful when you want a flexible coding environment. Softr is better when you want an app your business can operate without living inside the code. Now, let us look at what happens after the portal is built. A client submits a request. That request needs to go into the database. The internal team needs to review it. Maybe the request needs approval before work starts. Maybe the client should get notified when the status changes. Maybe a new task should be created for the team. This is the kind of work that usually gets pushed into custom code or a separate automation tool. Softr brings that closer to the app itself. You can create forms, connect them to your data, and build workflows around the actions people take inside the app. That means the portal is not just a static interface. It becomes part of the operating system for the business. For example, a request form can collect the project name, deadline, priority, notes, and attachments. When the request is submitted, the database updates. The internal team can review it from a dashboard. A workflow can move the request into the right stage, notify the right person, or update related records. This is the difference between building a screen and building a system. A screen shows information. A system helps people get work done. And because Softr is visual, the workflow is easier to explain and maintain. Your team can open it, understand what triggers it, and change it as the process changes. This is especially useful for agencies, operations teams, service businesses, and SMBs. These teams do not always need a custom-coded SaaS product. They need software that matches how their business already works: intake, review, approval, tracking, reporting, and client communication. That is what makes Softr a strong alternative to Replit for this category of work. It is not about proving one tool is better for every possible use case. It is about choosing the tool that fits the job. To be clear, Replit still makes sense for a lot of people. If you are a developer and you want full control over the code, Replit is a useful environment. You can build prototypes, test ideas, write custom logic, and use AI to move faster. If you are comfortable owning the code, debugging issues, and managing the technical side, that workflow can be powerful. But that is not the same as being the best option for a business team that needs software they can run every day. For a business app, the challenge is long-term ownership. Who updates the form when the process changes? Who adjusts permissions when a new client joins? Who fixes the workflow when the approval step changes? Who explains the system to the team when the original builder is gone? With Softr, those answers are much simpler because the app is visual and structured around business operations. The database is visible, the pages are editable, the permissions are configurable, the workflows are understandable. The app can keep evolving without forcing every change through a developer. That is the real reason I would look at Softr as a Replit alternative in 2026. It gives you the speed of AI, but it also gives you the structure businesses need after the first demo is done. So if you are choosing a Replit alternative, start with the type of app you are building. If the goal is to write code, experiment with technical ideas, or give developers a browser-based coding environment, Replit can be a good fit. But if the goal is to build a real business app, a client portal, CRM, internal dashboard, inventory system, approval workflow, or operational tool, Softr is the option I would test first. You can build with AI, edit visually, manage your data, set up users and permissions, create workflows, and publish an app that your team can actually maintain. That is the part that matters. The best AI app builder is not just the one that creates the first version fastest. It is the one that helps you keep improving the app after real people start using it. And for business teams, that is where Softr makes a lot of sense. I will leave the Softr link in the description. Start with one practical workflow: a client portal, an internal tracker, or a request system, and build the first version with AI. Once you see how the database, pages, permissions, and workflows connect, the value becomes obvious. You are not just generating an app. You are building a system your team can own.